Shalom, shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatah. Yahweh Shem Alatah Bashem Yahushua. It's Priest and Officer Dawashab at the Isupk, started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Johanna. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible, right? And the truth of the Bible is that this book has to deal with the history of all so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which are the children of Israel. That's our true nationality, our identity. You know what I'm saying? We are the chosen people of the Most High. And this is what we teach in the Isupk to build this nation back up. And, today's class is Brotherhood. Every Tuesday's Brotherhood class. We're going to go through some scriptures and see what this Bible says about brotherhood, which is very much needed for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Brotherhood is very important. It's the key to our success. It's our key to our survival here in this captivity. The only way we going to actually make any move on a revolution or get any salvation is by us coming together and unifying as a nation. You know what I'm saying? And the only way we can do that is with these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? These laws in this book is what can unify so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you know what I'm saying, which are the children of Israel, right? And I got Trooper Kanat with me, mighty trooper out there in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be reading some of the scriptures for me as well. All right, so everybody on sign in the chat. Also the information, if you're looking to join the school, you know what I'm saying, you can look this up online on isupk.com and all that, right? All right, so the first scripture I'm going to grab is John chapter 4, verse 20.
Sir.
You can go ahead and read.
The book of John, chapter 4, verse 20. Our fathers worship in this mountain.
So like your 1 John 4 and 20, my bad.
Okay.
Shalom, everybody that's just getting there. Like I said, it's the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Every Tuesday from 7 to 9, we go through scriptures in regards to brotherhood, which is very needed amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? Which is seldomly taught in the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? They don't really teach you about how to unify our communities, how to better our communities, how to make sure that we're thriving and being taken care of in our own communities, in our own households. You know what I'm saying? We're taught that everybody's equal, that we have to join everybody. We have to love everybody, love our oppressors, and love our enemies. Meanwhile, we're the one that's on the bottom being treated like dirt on this earth. You know what I'm saying? The reason why is because we forgot the love for each other. You know what I'm saying? We forgot the importance of only loving our own people, which is so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians, which are the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And once we start to get back to loving our own people, we'll be able to fix our conditions that plague us in our communities. You know what I'm saying? Because we need this salvation, and we need to understand that these scriptures, that's the Bible, is only talking about us. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about us from Genesis all the way to Revelation. It has nothing to do with everybody. It has nothing to do with any other nation on this earth. You know what I'm saying? Christ did not come to save everybody, to give everybody salvation, to make everybody love each other. That's not what Christ came here to do. You know what I'm saying? Christ came to redeem his people, to save his nation. You know what I'm saying? To bring them back to serving the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And the main key that he used to do that, which was brotherhood. All right? You got that, Warrior?
Sir.
All right, you go ahead.
The book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
Right. This is what the Bible is saying. If a man say, right, I love God, which people love to say all the time. They love to say they got a personal relationship with God, that they love Jesus. They go into church and say hallelujah and sing to the gospel songs and talk about how much they love God. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, their own people they can care less about. You know what I'm saying? The people that's being destroyed and being trodden down here in America, you know what I'm saying, they can care less about. They're not actually utilizing what the Lord gave them, you know what I'm saying, to help out their brothers. You know what I'm saying? To actually, love their brothers by keeping these commandments. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to scheme on your brother on taking advantage of him or trying to sleep with his wife or trying to do anything that's against the laws of this book. If you truly love the Most High, it will be shown on how you treat your brothers or your sisters. You know what I'm saying? It'll be shown how you treat your nation. You know what I'm saying? That's how you reflect on. That's how somebody reflects, showing that they love God. You know what I'm saying? You want to see somebody that loves God, witness them what they do for their people. You know what I'm saying? Their actions will tell you whether or not if they're serving the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Your pastor, he claimed that he loved God and all of that stuff, but what is he doing for our people? What has he done for our people? What has Christianity ever done for our people, man? You know what I'm saying? What has joining our oppressor and marching for civil rights, what has that done for our people? That has done nothing but further destroy us as a nation. It had further divided us as a nation until we don't even know who the enemy is. You know what I'm saying? We love to view each other as an enemy. Meanwhile, our oppressors had his foot on our necks for over 400 years. But because we have this civil rights bill passed, and we've been told by our pastors that we got to just love everybody on the earth, we don't forgot that he's our enemy. You know what I'm saying? We trying to make him an ally. We trying to make him a friend. You know what I'm saying? When the Bible is saying that all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should separate themselves from their oppressors and unify as a nation. You know what I'm saying? And you'll do that only if you love the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You'll show love to your brothers if you actually love the Most High. You'll do right according to your brothers or sisters. You know what I'm saying? You'll do what is lawful according to your brothers and sisters if you love the Most High. Right? Read on.
Kind of concern. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he have not seen?
All right. What does that mean? What is that talking about? Help me out. People cannot.
Salaki, sir.
Go
I
ahead.
believe that's talking about like as you you was saying, like you was bringing out, like a lot of people say they love God and do nothing for the people that's struggling right around them. Like you can say you love God all you want, but you can have a brother that's right by you or right next to you. You show that brother no love. You get that
Right.
brother heartache, hardship. You turn your nose up at him. You won't help him out. You won't even buy him something to eat. But you love God and you so holy and righteous that you know what I'm saying. You always professing your love for God, but hated your brother that's right there who you see every day that's struggling with you every day.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? People love to puff themselves up as if there's something holy on this earth or something righteous on this earth. You know what I'm saying? Well, meanwhile, they the most nastiest people, you know what I'm saying, when you dealing with them. Right? Our people don't understand, man. It's not about going into that church and singing hallelujah and screaming Jesus out loud. That's not how you show that you love the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It's by you taking care of your own people, taking care of your nation. Because guess what? Ain't nobody in that church ever seen God. Nobody on this earth has ever seen the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But we have seen each other. You know what I'm saying? We do see each other. We do see the men of the Lord that's out there striving to build this nation. You know what I'm saying? What we need to do is understand those people is our people. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord chose them the same way he chose all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? He chose us to be rulers on this earth. You know what I'm saying? We can't rule this earth if we steady hating each other. You know what I'm saying? If we gunning each other down, if we gossiping, bickering, you know what I'm saying, or trying to join our oppressor, there's no way we will be able to rule this planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? There's no way we'll be able to get out this condition if we fail to realize what this book is talking about. You know what I'm saying? This book is our key to our salvation. Brotherhood is everything. You know what I'm saying? We need brotherhood. We need to realize how to love each other again. You know what I'm saying? How to treat each other, how to take care of each other so we can better ourselves as a people and build the nation back up. Right? Let's continue on, Warrior.
Come, sir. Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.
Right. This is a commandment from the Most High. This is what's written in our law. Right? When it states brother, it's not talking about everybody, on this planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about the people that come from your family, the people that come from your bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Your nationality and your people and your heritage. You know what I'm saying? That's who the Lord is requiring you to show love to. I'm saying the people of your own race, of your own nation. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who your brother is, man. You know what I'm saying? And a Hispanic man is your brother. A Native Indian man is your brother. A black man and a Jamaican and a Haitian, they should be treating each other as brothers. You know what I'm saying? A Puerto Rican and a Mexican should be treating each other as brothers. You know what I'm saying? The Native Indian, you know what I'm saying, should be treating Jamaican as a brother. You know what I'm saying? Because we are all one nation, man. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is calling us that we can come back to our nation, come back to our identity. So that way we ain't got to be suffering the way we are on this earth right now. You know what I'm saying? And that key is brotherhood, right? So let's get Matthew 25 and 40. Get Matthew 25 and 40 real quick.
Come, sir. You said Matthew 25 and 40?
God, Baba God.
Come, sir. The book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Right. So this is Christ speaking. All right. And before this, let's read up a little bit, right? He's given a parable to the children of Israel on how to be a true follower of Christ. You know what I'm saying? How to profess your love for the Most High and a servant of Christ. You know what I'm saying? There's only one way but to do that. You know what I'm saying? So let's jump up a little bit to verse 35.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 35. For I was in hunger, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
Right. So this is what the Lord is our King Yahweh is talking about, right? We're not out there, we don't see Christ walking around right now. He's with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Neither have you ever seen the Most High ever. You know what I'm saying? But when you take care of your brother, when you feed your brothers or sisters and clothe your brothers or sisters, you know what I'm saying? Or visit them in a prison, you know what I'm saying? And take care of this nation, building each other up, it's like you've done it unto the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? This is how you show that you actually love the Most High, or if you actually a servant of Christ. You know what I'm saying? By you taking care of his people, taking care of his flock, the nation that he died for. All right, he died for all so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to return to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? This is what Christ was willing to die for. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? If you true follower of Christ, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be willing to feed, to take care, to look out for your brother. Let alone you gotta be willing to die for your nation as well, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're really a true follower of Christ, you know what I'm saying? This is what Christ is talking about in order to build each other up. Because we the ones that need the help most. You know what I'm saying? All your pastor ain't out there. He ain't feeding you in your neighborhoods. During the damn pandemic, we had people losing their jobs, losing their homes, foreclosure in their cribs and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have enough funds to pay their bills each month. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, your pastor was sitting with all that wealth inside of that church from you paying your tithes money every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? We had to beg the damn our oppressor just for a damn stimulus check. You know what I'm saying? When your pastor was supposed to take care of the community in the time of the need. You know what I'm saying? Our school didn't never shut down during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Give Commander Jenny a Honda a hand for that. You know what I'm saying? Our doors was open during the pandemic. We made sure we fed our people. We clothed our people. You know what I'm saying? Took care of our people because that's what really counts in serving the Most High. That's what really counts in being a servant of Christ, man. It's taking care of your people, right? Let's continue on, boy.
Come on, sir. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we, when saw we thee and hunger, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee?
So he's asking, like, when have we done that unto you? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. This is a king now, right? Who's out there? You know, a king is somebody that's you think that's noble or wealthy. You know what I'm saying? You're not out there trying to feed the king or clothe the king or help him out with it when he's sick. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? If you do it unto the people that follow that king, it's like you done it unto him, man. You know what I'm saying? And our people, we need this help. We need this brotherhood. We need to understand that this is only talking about us, right? Read on.
Come, sir. Verse 39. Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren,
Mm-hmm.
ye have done it unto me.
All right. What does it mean when it says the least of these?
Uh, sir, if it's saying like if you done it to any one of these brethren here, or any one of these brothers, you done it unto me.
Right, right. But what does it mean when it says least?
Um, is it talking about like the smallest, like I want to say like the smallest one of them, or like no, not the smallest, but like the lower rank of one of them?
Not necessarily, but it's just simply talking about the ones that's on the bottom, right? I'm
Kind.
saying the least of us. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's lost and forgotten in society that people can care less about. You know what I'm saying? The people that that people just drive by and don't think twice about helping or feeding or taking care of or fighting for. You know what I'm saying? Because they see them downtrodden. You know, so well, if you're willing to help out those type of people that the whole world forgot about, that the whole world turned their backs on, it's like you've done it unto Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Christ was on this earth doing. Every time he was healing somebody, or taking care of somebody, you know what I'm saying, or any sickness, it was only for his people. Everybody that he healed that is written in the New Testament was all Israelites. You know, so not one of them was of another nation. It was either Israelites following the culture of the heathens or they were a Jew, right? But regardless, everybody who Christ looked out for was all Israelites. You know what I'm saying? And the only exception that he made for somebody else that was a other nation was a so-called white woman who considered herself a dog in order to get any blessing from Christ. She understood her role and knew her place. And Christ told her, man, it is not meet to give the children's bread, cast it onto dogs. And what she said was, she didn't respond with, well, you're a dog and I'm above you. She understood her place. She said, right, correct, Lord. Okay, but even dogs eat from the master's table, of the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Because she understood that these blessings, that these records and these laws are only written for us. And when Christ returned and established this kingdom, there's gonna be a upper class, there's gonna be the real wealthy, and there's gonna be a lower class, second class citizens. There's gonna be second class citizens even when Christ returns. And all these other nations right now in this world, they're treated as first class citizens. They're being taken care of when they're in need. You just had the opioid epidemic, right? You remember the opioid epidemic? White people was dying off pain pills and all these opioid prescription medication. Instead of locking them up like they did for us during the crack epidemic, they started to build them facilities and therapy centers to help them out with their addiction. Because they get the help because they are in rulership and they got the love and the resources from their people. Meanwhile, we are always looked as and treated as second class citizens on this earth. When Christ returned, he gonna switch the roles. He gonna free the Mexican kids that's locked up in cages right now. He gonna
Like it.
reunite them with their parents. He gonna get blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians off of drugs. The brothers that's suffering with alcoholism in the reservation. This is what Christ is going to do because these are the people that are forgotten about, right? Salaki, where you go ahead.
Oh, it's like you, sir. Now I was going to say they even started giving the cops um this little thing that stopped people from overdosing if they get there in time, and it was mainly for those devils that um I don't know if you remember, but a few years ago the heroin situation got really bad, but it was really only affecting the heathens because it made it into they communities. And a lot of kids over there on Alafaya and the UCF, the kids was overdosing and getting caught with heroin. So they started issuing out these little pins that will stop them from overdosing if they make it, but stop them from dying if they make it there in time. They
Okay,
gave
I think
the police that Salakia.
right. I think it's like a pen or a shot, right? That they
Kind
hit them with something like that.
kind of on one kind, sir.
Okay, yeah, I think I am familiar with that, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's great. They get the help and the salvation that they need. You know what I'm saying? When they're sick, they getting taken care of by their own. You know what I'm saying? By this nation. When they need housing and when they need clothing, they're being taken care of. But what about the starving kids in the ghetto, man? The starving kids in the barrio and the reservation. When are people gonna start to give a damn about them? Well, guess what? Christ gave a damn about his people. He gives a damn about the kids in the reservations and the barrios and the ghettos, man. You know what I'm saying? And he's establishing ourselves. He's calling all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come back and serve the Most High, so we can get out of this hellhole, man. So he can give us justice for all the hell and the trauma and pain that we had to endure in this captivity, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to come with us just saying and following our oppressor's religion. Christianity is nothing but white supremacy, man. It does not teach you anything about building yourself up. It does not teach you anything about bettering your community. It don't teach you economics with your community and how to deal with each other, how to treat each other. It don't teach you none of that. You know what I'm saying? All it teaches you how to be selfish, care about yourself, and love white America, man. You know what I'm saying? When that is destroying us and brainwashing us to hating each other, right? So what we need to do is understand what these scriptures says is that we need to realize that we need help. And the way we're going to get this help, if we unify and use our skills and use our spirit to love each other, to feed each other, and to take care of each other, right? Let's continue. Let's get John 13 and 34. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother was saying, man, they even give the officers the little shot to resuscitate you when the damn devil is overdosing. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you got thousands of brothers that's in jail, you know what I'm saying, that got no rehabilitation for their addiction or no help for their addiction, but yet they was accused and criminalized for their addiction and got thrown in jail over it, man. You know what I'm saying? They even made marijuana legal now, you know what I'm saying? And you got millions of brothers locked up for, the smallest amount of marijuana usage or, baggage that they might have had. You know what I'm saying? They don't get no justice. You ain't gonna get no fair chance in this place. You know what I'm saying? You're stop putting your hope and thinking that your oppressor is gonna one day have a change of heart toward you. He brought you here not to be your friend. You know what I'm saying? He did not put you on those boats as a fantastic voyage. You were shacked up in those boats, packed up like sardines, so you can be a slave, so he can work you to death in the land called America, man. And guess what? His feelings has never changed since then. Your oppressor has always, always hated you. You know what I'm saying? Well, we need to start loving each other and separate from those that hate us and seek to destroy us, right? Let's get you got that for me, Roy?
Come on, one sir.
All right, you go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another.
All right. Why does it say a new commandment? Right? We heard that scripture before, or we can even read it in the law where it says it with Leviticus 19:18. You know what I'm saying? Where it talks about love thy brother as thyself. It's written in our law, so it ain't nothing new. It always been with us, even in the Old Testament time. But why is he saying a new commandment now? Is Christ changing the law? What is that talking about?
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe he's changing the law. I believe he's showing them, or telling them the correct way to fulfill the law that was given to us aforetime.
Mm-hmm. God, yeah, he's increasing it, right? So when he says it's a new commandment, what is he talking about?
He's saying that uh he's like you say he's increasing, like he's upping the ante. He making you like go above and beyond about loving your brother now.
Okay, okay. Which is true, but I need a little bit more, right? A little bit more. If anybody in the chat want to type it in, y'all can type it in as well. You know what I'm saying? I can see y'all in the chat.
Salaki, sir.
Go
Is it
ahead, soldier.
is it is it because no one was doing that commandment? Like no one was showing brotherly love or brotherhood around Christ time. Like, they were just going about doing their own thing. Some of them was living as heathens, as Gentiles, like following the heathen customs. And a
Damn,
lot
right.
of them Salaki.
No, go ahead, finish it up.
No, I was just gonna say a lot of them like was didn't even like attend to the law, or you
Right.
probably never even really heard of about it.
God. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us didn't understand what Christ was talking about. You know what I'm saying? At this time. Because at the time of Christ, who was in rulership at that time? Who had control over Jerusalem and the whole Middle East at that time?
Salaki, sir. The Roman Empire did.
Right, the Romans. You know what I'm saying? These are the people that we was subject under at the time of Christ. And we was being persecuted under the Romans. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of our people under that persecution started adopting Roman culture, Greek culture. You know what I'm saying? And you had even our own people who still try to maintain some sort of the law, which was the Pharisees, did not properly teach us how to love each other. You know what I'm saying? They only did things that can benefit themselves, finding ways that they can make money for themselves, making deals with the Romans. So when Christ was on the scene and teaching Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, it was foreign to a lot of those brothers that heard that, man. You know what I'm saying? It was something that most brothers didn't understand. And listen, this is a commandment, a new commandment that's foreign unto us today, right? I see y'all in the chat, my boy Isupk. We wasn't loving each other. Yep, exactly right. We mistreated each other. Yep. So he was referring to remind us something required of us, right? Just like Trooper Canuck said, you know what I'm saying? You for your brothers is correct. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, we done tried everything in trying to get some type of salvation or trying to get, some type of relief from this oppression under the sun. We done tried everything on this earth, man. We done tried civil rights, marching, begging, you know what I'm saying? We done try to pick up guns. We done try to get in the political game. We done try to do everything just to get some type of salvation on this earth. Well, guess what? There's one thing that we have not tried. There's a new thing that can actually work for us. All right. And you know what that is? Help them out, Trooper Canuck.
So like you, sir, that's loving thy brother as you love thyself.
Right. That's the one thing that we have not tried as a nation. You know what I'm saying? We have not tried actually loving each other, you know what I'm saying, and separating from all those that hate us. We have not tried to pick up this book and getting back to our identity and only dealing with each other. You know what I'm saying? We have not tried only caring for our own, shopping with our own, spending with our own, boycotting, and only dealing with our own in our communities. That's something that we have not executed and fully tried to the full extent. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing, that one thing that they got right during the damn civil rights movement. When what Martin Luther King called that boycott for the buses. Remember that?
Con on con,
You
sir.
know
I
what I'm saying?
remember that. That's
Go ahead.
no, so like you, sir, I just want to say that's when he was talking about non-violent and they was doing them sit-ins at the
Mm-hmm.
restaurants and stuff, all that whole little spill.
God,
Con
God,
on con.
that's the only thing that he got right was boycotting those buses, man. He crippled the economy of America just by doing that alone. Well, imagine if we continued on that process, right? And stop trying to join him with hand in hand and love each other and just continue to only do our own, build up our own infrastructure, our own cities, our own bus systems. We would have been a far better condition than we're in right now in America, man. You know why? Because we have not tried what Christ told us to do. And what Christ told us to do is to love thy brother as thyself. That means you should not be out there treating your brother like garbage. You should not be out there trying to sell drugs to your brothers or sisters. You should not be out there trying to sleep with your brother's wife. You know what I'm saying? You should not be feeding your brothers poison like pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You should not be celebrating birthdays and holidays and all types of stuff that got our people destroyed in America, man. Going against God is what got us destroyed in America. And once we realize that all we have to do is actually love each other, you know what I'm saying, and take care of each other, then we'll begin the process of healing us as a nation, healing each other as a nation, man. All right?
So like you, sir.
Go ahead, Soda.
I was just gonna say, sir, what you're bringing out is heavy. And I was just gonna say, I just said I had a thought is like if we could see each other as brothers, like if we could see one another as the same as the brothers and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe that that could happen. But as in the world today, brothers don't see each other as brothers. We see each other as strangers. Like you would think we was from another nation. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have no love from somebody you don't see as yourself.
Right. Damn right, man. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like,
That's very true. Right. And a lot of that, just to add on what you were saying, a lot of that was crushed through, you know what I'm saying, our spirit is being crushed through Christianity. Like that's the key and the gateway to our destruction, man. Following the gods of these other nations, right? Looking at our oppressor as if he's superior and we are inferior, right? From slavery on to present time, this is what they programmed us to believe. They have the Willie Lynch letters and buck breaking. They used to get the strongest slave in the whole plantation and beat him in front of everybody, right? Try to emasculate that strong slave so that way, nobody can rebel against the slave master. In return, you have the slave mothers out of fear that might happen to their son. They used to teach them how not to be so masculine, to how to be more soft around slave masters so they don't get beat. And generationally, that carried on to us till this day. And there's many things that carried on to this with us till this day from slavery, man. It's time for us to become brand new, try something new. We have to take away from what our slave masters took from us and take back our culture, take back our strength and our identity. And realizing the next black man that you shoot or look down upon or talk bad about or gossip about, or try to short or underhand or do anything that's against the laws of the Most High to, just know that you're doing it in support of white supremacy. That's all you're doing. You're an extension of the white man's oppression. You know what I'm saying? You're functioning with the mentality of our oppressor. What you think is black culture, a lot of times, 10 times out of 10, is really white culture. It's really American culture that we adopted from slavery to present time, man. So yeah, like the trooper said, we gotta realize that we are brothers. Every little, disagreement or every little altercation don't have to result into a brother killing another brother or a sister killing another sister or fighting in public and recording it, screaming war star, doing all that stuff. So we have to see the value that we have in each other. That we have in us. We have to see that value. We have to see ourselves as superior. And everybody else inferior. We got to view ourselves already, even in this captivity, as if we are those first class citizens, as if we are gold and royalty on this earth. Because guess what? It's going to be enforced when Christ returns. Right? So let's continue on with it.
come on, concert. Keep reading.
Oh, yeah, Baba Kasha, where you left off.
Con. The book of John, chapter 13, verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another.
Right. What does it mean? All right. It says, by this, all men shall know that you are my disciple. Right. What is a disciple?
It's like you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, disciple is one of the 12 that followed Yahushua's teaching.
You're close. You're close. You want to give it another shot? Not quite, right? What is a disciple? The only reason why I say you're not fully on it is because, well, I'm gonna just give you the answer, right? A disciple is not just only the 12. You know what I'm saying? A disciple is a student. You know what I'm saying? That's what a disciple is a student, right? And Christ at one time had 5,000. students that learned under him. Remember when he broke the bread and the fish and all that? You know what I'm saying? It was numbered that at least 5,000 was with him. So what he's saying, if you are a follower of him, if you are a student of him, or a disciple of Christ, then this is what you got to do to prove it. This is the only way men will know that you are a follower of Christ. Right? And this is what it says. It says you got to love your brother as yourself. Now, what is that talking about? Is that talking about everybody on the planet Earth and skin color don't matter and all our blood is red and we're all the human
Salaki,
race?
sir, you a
And
little choppy.
you hear me?
Yeah, Salaki, sir, you in the Matrix. You're a little choppy.
Hold on. You hear me now?
Kind
Hello?
of, can you
You hear me
say
now?
again, sir?
How it
Yeah, I can
sound
hear you
now?
now, sir.
Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. That sound too
It's
loud?
still a little choppy. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as it was. It's a little slight. Maybe if you keep talking, it'll clear up.
All right. All right. Just let me know when it gets too
Cause you
bad.
kind of,
I'm chopping
yeah,
up.
kind of, sir. Cause Salaki, sir, you froze on the screen, so I know it's still kind of choppy.
Okay, am I still choppy now?
Still the same, sir. Salaki.
Brother Yusuf said, clear on the stream. Yeah, if y'all can hear me, please
Yeah, it,
put a 1 if y'all can hear me in the chat. Yeah, I say, let's make sure. Let's put a 1 to make sure y'all can hear me. I see a couple ones up. All right. Shalom, shalom. You can hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
All right. So that's what it talks about when it says his disciple, and when it says love one to another. It's talking about only those that's of your own race and your own nation. You know what I'm saying? We the ones that need love the most. We the ones that need to unify and bring back and building up this nation. You know what I'm saying? We are the most destroyed on the planet Earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Lost without no identity, no history, no culture, none of that. We the ones that's destroyed here in America. And the only way we're going to build ourselves up if we start to understand that we are one nation, that we are brothers, that we are sisters, that we are one family, right? That's the only way we're going to start to build ourselves up. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Every other nation practice that amongst their own. You know what I'm saying? In my line, you know what I'm saying? Every nation practice that amongst their own. You go to any major city in America and you'll find a Chinatown in every major city in America with Chinese businesses, Chinese stores, Chinese hospitals. You know what I'm saying? You go to the Jewish man community. You know what I'm saying? He has his own hospitals, his own police force. He has all these things. You know why? Because they only love each other. You know what I'm saying? They exercise their love for each other. And no nation on this earth can sustain itself if you do not love the citizens of your nation. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians got to understand we are a nation. We are a nation of people. Even though we lost our identity, we are the 12 tribes of Israel. And we cannot sustain ourselves as a nation if we don't build upon loving each other. If we don't practice laws and a culture and a way of life that cater to us as a nation, we're destined to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying?
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead, soldier.
No, I'm just want to say you chopping up again.
Dropping up.
Yeah,
I'll
the
say,
screen froze again.
uh, if please, Baba Kashaf, y'all can hear me. If I could put another one, another number one on the chat, man. I'm bad. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the headphones. I'm gonna probably do without that. Okay. Karawa Khan, sir. The water, sir. Uh, okay. Yeah. People on the chat. The water, Captain Khan, the yard. KJ, Yusef. They all saying they can hear me. I don't know if it's your connection, warrior. Probably the storm. We're in the midst of the storm teaching class right now. It's thundering and everything out here in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if it's your
Yeah,
connection.
let me select.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm finna say, no, it sounded good. Let me try to. It might be on my end, sir. Select.
All right. No sweat. Uh, in the meantime, let's get back to 5 and 22. And just let me know if it happens again or whatever. Try to find like a good spot in your crib or something. All right. All right, Trooper. Now you can hear me.
I'm back.
All right, let's grab
Yeah, I
Matthew.
can hear you, sir.
All right, Most High in Christ. Let's get Matthew 5 and 22 real quick.
You said 5 and 21, sir.
22, Baba Shah. All right. These are the scriptures that you
Okay.
need to real quick. These are, if I could, these are the scriptures that you can use in understanding brotherhood, that you can use and practice and apply it to yourself to when you're dealing with another black man, when you're dealing with a Hispanic, when you're dealing with a Native Indian. You always want to keep in mind the words of our King. You know what I'm saying? The words of this book, starting from Genesis to Revelation, all deals with one people. You know what I'm saying? And the people that everybody looked down upon, that's destroyed on this earth, you know what I'm saying, that nobody cares about. It's about time that we care for our own. It's about time that we start to love our own and start taking care of all the problems that we need to take care of. And you'll see this nation, you'll see us rise up from these ashes, from the bottom, and become a royal people of kings and priests like the Lord promised us. Saying all we need to do is understand brotherhood is everything. You know what I'm saying? You got real quick, Warrior. I think it went out. A lot. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it in the meantime till the brother gets in. Like I said, we in the midst of a storm out here in Orlando, so I don't know if his connection is bad or something. All right. You hear me?
Kind of, sir. I can hear you. I don't know what's going on. It keep kicking me out.
Mm.
Keep saying something wrong, like it's buffering or something. And um,
All right. As long as you can hear me, if you want to just, if you got the verse, you can go ahead until. Yeah,
kind of,
yeah,
sir. The
it's
book,
most likely your server or whatever. But you can go ahead.
kind of, sir. The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment.
Right now, this is another scripture of Christ increasing the law of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that we perfect the words that's written in this book. And he's letting us know that if anybody has an ought with his brother, you know what I'm saying, or angry with a brother without a cause, you know what I'm saying, is in danger of judgment. Now give me certain examples of how a brother or a sister can be angry with each other for no reason. What do we do day by day? Some of the stories we hear about.
Slocky, sir. It could be something simple as a somebody getting promoted at work or something.
Right. Promoted at work. What else?
Or someone like someone having a car and you don't have a car right now, or your car is down.
God, that too.
Somebody having
You go ahead.
yeah.
Nah, go ahead.
No, so like I'll just say someone has something that you don't have but you want, and you mad at that person. That person might not even know why you mad at him, or you just got an art with him. Like you just got something against them for no reason.
All right. Jealousy, envy goes on amongst us. You know what I'm saying? Somebody stepping in on your shoes, somebody bumping into you. You know what I'm saying? Something that's not very major. We always have a severe issue towards each other. Now, there could be some instance where you do have a cause, or there is a valid reason on why you're angry with that person. What should you do if you feel like you have a valid reason towards your anger with that brother or sister?
It's like you say.
Go ahead.
We are taught under Commander Junior Hunter and Isupk to go to that brother and that brother alone.
All right. Because that's what's written in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? The scripture teaches us if you have a problem with the brother or sister, go to him or her alone. You know what I'm saying? And talk to each other. Right? So you that way you might gain your brother. It does not teaches us to be emotional and the first sign of trouble or any sign of disrespect, just pull out a weapon and harm this brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? Or the first time of a problem that comes up, now y'all got a fist fight and argue all day and subliminally talk about each other all day. That's not what it's saying. You know what I'm saying? If you have a cause, there is protocols put in place by our king that can deviate certain violence that we see going on today in our communities, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that because we've been taught by weak pastors, weak Christian leaders, you know what I'm saying? People that don't actually teach us the laws of this book and what this Bible say, you know what I'm saying? And they teach us how to love our oppressor. In return, we're lost without morals. In return, we don't know how to deal with problems and adversity when it comes with each other. We become emotional or we trying to prove a point when it comes to each other. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? If you angry with a brother without a cause, you know what I'm saying? There is a judgment behind that. There is a judgment. The Lord does not play with his. In the scriptures, it says, if anyone should offend one of these little ones, it is better that you tie a millstone around his neck and cast him in the sea. You know what I'm saying? That's how Christ feels about his own. That's how the Most High feels about his own. You know what I'm saying? There is a judgment behind your action. For every action, there's a repercussion behind it. And the Lord would judge those that offend. You know what I'm saying? That do wrong to our people. And we're seeing that today. This is a judgment from the Most High because we don't exercise brotherhood. Because we're angry with each other without a cause. You know what I'm saying? For the most simplest things. Things that don't really matter much. Things that you can easily forgive each other for. Things that you can easily go to that brother or sister and talk about. We choose to either run to social media. We choose to gossip. We choose to escalate it. Or pull out a phone and scream world star and, scream fight, fight, fight. You know what I'm saying? We choose to do those things rather than actually loving each other. When it comes to our oppressor, oh man, lo and behold, because of our brainwashing of Christianity and white supremacy, you know what I'm saying, we'll turn the other cheek when it comes to our oppressor. We're no violent, you know what I'm saying? We're non-violent and marching and no justice, no peace when it comes to our oppressor. Our oppressors shoot us down in the streets, you know what I'm saying, and harming us all day systematically in America. But the most thing that we can show forth and being displeased on how he treats us is us just, trying to love him and march and beg him. You know what I'm saying? That's not how we're gonna find any justice, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop trying to love our oppressor, take away that same spirit that you try to give your oppressor and give it to another brother or a sister, man. Give it to a so-called Hispanic or a Native Indian. You know what I'm saying? They the ones that need that, man. Your oppressor gets all the love on this earth. Everybody loves your oppressor, man. When is it gonna be time for us to actually give a damn about each other? This is what the scriptures is talking about. We need to stop trying to be joined unto those that hate us and figure out how to build each other up, right? This is what's important and what's written in these scriptures. All right. So let's continue on. All right, you in?
Kind of, sir. I'm in. It keep kicking me out for some reason. I don't know.
All right, you want to continue on?
Kind of, sir.
All right.
In the middle of 22. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're in danger for. You know what I'm saying? You will get a judgment by righteous men letting you know what your punishment is going to be. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to make a payment the same way you go to court and when you have an ought with somebody, there is no retribution unless a payment is or a something that's required from the court to repay that brother or sister that you harmed or you did wrong. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? If you even do the slightest of things without a cause, like calling your brother a fool, you know what I'm saying, or calling him rakah, or looking down on the brother for no apparent reason, you know what I'm saying, you are in danger of that, man. You know what I'm saying? You are what's further our destruction and us making it hard for us to build as a nation and coming together and unifying. You know what I'm saying? And you are actually moving like a traitor unto your own people. You know what I'm saying? A traitor cannot survive, trying to be loved by the oppressor and try to be loved by your own. You cannot love an abuser and love the victim at the same time. You're gonna have to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? Well, somebody got to love the abuser. I mean, somebody got to love the victim. Salaki. Somebody got to love the one that's being abused and hate the abuser. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop looking down on each other and realizing that the condition that we in is by the hands of our oppressor. Even that brother that's on the corner about to light up that crack pipe and doing all that stuff, he got a chance, much of a chance as any one of us in serving the Most High. I'm talking about the one that's under the bridge with no coat or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's looking dirty and scruffy and haven't brushed his hair or her hair in a while. They still got a chance of being royalty. They still got a chance of being something great. You know what I'm saying? But who's going to give them that opportunity if we're constantly looking down on each other? You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to be willing to step up. And it starts with you. You know what I'm saying? Whoever is listening in this class, it starts with you. Your Christian church has failed. Your politicians has failed. Everybody has failed in wanting to help black people. You know why? Because they don't really love black people. The only way we're going to save each other if we actually love each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue on, Word, before you get cut off again.
I don't know what kind of say. It's a lot.
No,
But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
mm-hmm. you're gonna be in danger of the Lord's judgment, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to call your brother a fool, call your sister a fool, you are in danger of the hellfire. And we are being judged right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Your pastor is in danger of that, man. Your politician is in danger. Everybody that treats us wrong is all in danger, man, including our own. You know, this is what we need to understand. Even the minor things affect us, man. They made a study about it too, called when it comes with our oppressor, right? Called microaggression, racism, microaggressive racism, right? Where simple things like a white woman clutching her purse every time she walks past a black person, or you sitting on a bus and the white person gets up and scoots over or something like that. Like psychologists study that behavior and found out that can lead to depression, or that can lead to low self-esteem and hating yourself. You know what I'm saying? Well, imagine the small things that we do to each other, the minor things that we do to each other. You don't think that has a bigger effect on us as a nation? It definitely does, man. You know what I'm saying? Even to the minorest things that we do to each other still has a great effect on us as a nation, man. Everything counts. You know what I'm saying? And what you want to do is perfect yourself every day and be a better brother, being a better sister. You know what I'm saying? Trying to defeat your flesh, defeat every thought that's in your mind that wants you to go against a brother or a sister. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to do in order to build up this nation, right? Let's get the next verse. Let's get Luke 6:31.
Con, sir.
All
The
right, you
book of
go.
Luke, chapter 6. It's like the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. And ye, it's like it. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
All right. Is it that sounds familiar, right? Isn't that something that we heard even as a child that they used to tell us in grade school? Treat others how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? That principle is the factor of us building up this nation, right? When Christ said, "As you would do, you know, as you would that men should do unto you," you know what I'm saying? Do unto them likewise. Nobody wants to be mistreated on this earth. Nobody likes to be being treated with cruelty and what I'm saying, and fear and all that stuff. If you don't like that fight for yourself, why are you doing that to the next black man, Hispanic man, or Native Indian man? You know what I'm saying? If you don't want nobody to, sleep with your wife, why would you go out there and sleep with another brother's wife? You know what I'm saying? If you don't want nobody selling your mama drugs, why are you out there selling drugs to another brother's mom or a sister's mom? You know what I'm saying? If you don't want nobody doing anything underhanded towards you, you should not be willing to do it to another brother or sister, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what Christ is talking about, man. Us as a nation, we gotta love each other as we love ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants the best for themselves. They get the finest clothing, finest ointment. They want to smell good, make sure they look good. Nobody, punching their face 24/7 a day. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's cutting themselves and harming us because they want to make sure that they treat themselves with love and with care. You know what I'm saying? So you do stuff like go to the dentist and go to the hospital and go get treatments and get certain stuff that make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Well, you should have that same love towards another brother or sister. If you want to do it to yourself, don't do it to another brother or sister, man. You know, it's simple as that. All right. Let's get the next verse. Let's get John 15:12.
Concept.
All right, you go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Right. This is the same thing that we read before. Christ is just making sure that we understand it. You know what I'm saying? He's reiterating the same exact thing. This is a commandment. Not if it makes you happy, not if it makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? That's what love is all about. Love is suffering, man. You got to be willing to suffer for somebody. You got to be willing to endure and go through the hard times to really prove that you love somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because when things are all good and you're happy and love and it makes you feel good, of course you'll be around. You know what I'm saying? Of course they'll be around. But what happens when things start to get tough? What happens when your life is on the line? Well, you got a choice to make then, right? That's a choice right there that you got to make. When it requires of you losing your life, ask yourself, is that something that you're willing to do for your people? Is that something that you're willing to do for another so-called black man, Hispanic man, or Native Indian man? You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Christ loved this nation, loved the world, you know what I'm saying? Like it's written in John 3:16, which is the world of the Israelites, so much, you know what I'm saying, that he sacrificed himself for this nation. He put it all out there. He went out to the full extent in making sure that our people get a second chance. And that was all done out of mercy and love. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? You are to apply your full strength and your full mind and superseding whatever thing that's stopping you from loving another brother or sister and go out to the full extent to loving each other, man, to building this nation up, regardless if it makes you happy or not, regardless if it puts a smile on your face, regardless if you're in bliss over it. You should be willing to do it because the blood that flows through their veins is royalty, man. And that's what love is really all about. Right? This is a commandment that we love one another as I loved you. Read on.
Concept, verse 13. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
That he do what?
That a man lay down his life for his friends.
All right. Won't you agree that's one of the greatest acts of love? Somebody that's willing to risk their life for you. You know what I'm saying? Would you agree on that, Trooper Canot?
Con out of a gun.
Right.
Ain't no other way around that one. Like that.
Right.
That's the ultimate sacrifice.
Con. Where you yourself are taking a loss in this. You know what I'm saying? And the L is so great that it might cost you your life. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? You got to be willing to take a L for your own people. And I'm not talking to L where you being abused and being misused and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about is that little bit of money that you get. You know what I'm saying? Put a little bit to the side and feeding your people or helping your people. You know what I'm saying? That brother that or sister that needs a little assistance. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep your phone on silent and all that stuff just because you need some sleep. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to put yourself second and put each other first, man. Put each other far above that you put your own self, man. And you got to have that type of love, because guess what? Your king had that type of love for his nation. So if you claim to follow Christ, you will understand the spirit that he was in. You will understand why he sacrificed himself for his nation and serving the Most High. Because that's what it all comes down to. It comes down to brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? This is how you going to know somebody actually a follower of Christ. It's not by your shoes. It's not by your Gator shoes. It's not by your Rolls Royce. It's not because you have a mansion. You know what I'm saying? It's not because you have 5,000 or 50,000 followers in your church. You know what I'm saying? It's not because you wear purple and gold. It's not because you have a shape up and all of these things. The only way you going to identify somebody that loves the Most High is by how they love so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Are they out there feeding them, teaching them, taking care of them, housing them, counseling them, helping them getting off of drugs, rehabilitating them, cleaning them up? That's how you know somebody loves the Most High or is a follower of Christ. You got to be willing to risk it all, your time and your energy, in order to save this nation, right? Let's get Matthew 18 and 21. Is there anything you want to add to? You can go ahead, Trooper Kanat.
Oh no, Salaki, so you hitting it right on the head, so Salaki.
All right, Most High in Christ. You can give me Matthew 18, 21. Whenever you got, you can read.
Sir, I have
All right, you go ahead, soldier.
the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
All right, so he's asking them a question. How many times, if my brother do me wrong, he did something wrong to me, how many times should I be willing to forgive this person? All right, read on.
Yahushua saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
All right, now what is that talking about? What is Christ saying right there? What is the spirit behind what Christ is saying right there?
Salaki, sir, what I get from it is saying that Yahushua is saying, like, no matter how many
Ah, brother got cut out. All right. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to type it in the chat as well, y'all on here. You know what I'm saying? I see you on the chat. Go ahead and type it in. If y'all want to, give the breakdown or the spirit behind what Christ is saying. Yep. You hear me, Warrior?
Okay, Salaki, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's the chopper. Yeah, I don't know if it's my service, sir, or I don't know what's going on.
No sir, no sir. But yeah, what you were saying?
No, I was saying, what I was saying is like, no matter how many times your brother sin against you, if that brother come to you and ask you for forgiveness, you gotta forgive him.
God. Right? Damn right. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly it, man. Meaning, this is not an exact number that Christ was trying to point out. He didn't want you to calculate 7 times 77. And then once you reach that number, all bets is off, no more forgiving, it's time to go to war. That's not what Christ is saying. You know what I'm saying? He was saying that in the spirit of that you have to forgive him an infinite amount of times, man. As long as brothers are willing to reconcile the harm that he did to you, you know what I'm saying, and make things right, repay what he has done, you know what I'm saying, you should be able to forgive the brother. Because guess what? We done sinned against the Most High more than 77 times. You know what I'm saying? Yusuf on there said to give your brother another chance because you were given another chance. Right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both is right. we was given a chance by the Most High, even though we sinned against Him. Even though we broke the commandments of the Most High, we were still given a chance. We were still being forgiven. Right? Now, what the Lord requires of us to do is to change our life and correct our behavior. Right? KJ says, sir, the spirit behind what Christ is saying is no matter how many times a brother sinned against you, we must always forgive because we sin too. Right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all correct, man. Give yourselves a hand. Y'all exactly right. You know what I'm saying? This is what Christ was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Not something that you try to calculate in your mind until you get 70 times 77. As soon as you hit that number, you clocking it and marking it on a notepad so you can count every time the person did you wrong. So that way, once you reach the limit, it's time to go ham. That's not what it's talking about, man. It's talking about an infinite amount of forgiving each other. You know what I'm saying? As long as you go to that brother or sister, go to them and them alone and reconcile your differences. You know what I'm saying? And making sure y'all can mend y'all differences. Y'all should forgive each other and forget about the harm and forget about whatever caused y'all to have a little bit of conflict. Once it get resolved, you should just forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Once you are justified for it or repaid for it or recompensed for it, it should be forgotten about. It shouldn't be something you should gossip about and try to rekindle it and bring it back up. You know what I'm saying? We did wrong towards the Most High. So when your brother does wrong towards you, don't be so quick to condemn that person or try to harm that person, man. You know what I'm saying? Go to him and him alone and reconcile your differences, right? Let's continue. Let's get the parable that Christ spoke about after he said that. Let's continue on if you can hear me, true or not. You can hear me, Kanat?
Oh, Salaki, sir, I was on mute. Salaki.
All right, let's
Verse
continue on.
23.
Go ahead.
Therefore therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king which would take account of his servants.
All right. So he's saying a parable and liking what the kingdom of heaven is like, or how we are going to be able to build up the kingdom of heaven. Now, what is the kingdom of heaven? You can answer me that. What is that? Each time
Salaki,
Christ,
sir. That is
go ahead.
Salaki, sir.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Oh, that is rulership, sir. That is when we in rulership.
all right. It's a kingdom, right? A kingdom of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in rulership. And the only way we're going to succeed in that is if we practice or do what the Lord told us to do. And he's going to give an example of what the main key thing that we need to do in order to get the kingdom of heaven. Right? Continue on.
Con, sir. Verse 24. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, which owed him 10,000 talents. But for as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made.
Right. So in this parable, who would be the king? Who would the king be likened unto in this parable? Who is it
Like you said,
referring to? Mm-hmm.
would it be Yahusha?
Right. You can Yahusha or
Or so like, or
who's
a fellow brother?
Who's greater than Yahushua?
Oh, so like it, sir, the Most High.
Right, the Most High, right? Who gave us Yahushua, you know what I'm saying, as a sacrifice and showing us what we need to do in order to serve him. You know what I'm saying? Right? And the servants will be who? Who will the servants be? You get me?
I can hear you now, sir. You went out.
Okay. And who will the
I
servants
can hear
be
you
like
now.
it? Who will the servants be likened unto in this parable?
Uh, the servants will be like unto the children of Israel.
Exactly. All right. So you got the king that represents the Most High, and you got the servants which represent us, the children of Israel. Right. So remember that in this parable, right? It starts out with somebody owed the Most High, right? We owe the Most High. We done broke His commandments and disregard in serving the Most High, right? And something was required for us to pay, meaning your life. You know what I'm saying? Something was required for you to pay in owing the Most High. Right. Let's continue on with the parable.
Come, sir. Verse 26. Then the servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all.
Right. So now
Then the Lord, oh, sorry.
if I could, he's begging him for mercy. You know what I'm saying? Because there was gonna be a punishment for him not having the exact amount that he owed the king. You know what I'm saying? Well, his punishment was for him to take everything from this man, right? And that was too much for him. Too much for him. So he get to begging and pleading for his life, right? Let's continue on, Triple Canot. Oh man, I think you got cut off. All right. Let's see. Let me read on. It said, verse 26. It said, the servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me. I will pay thee all. Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion and loosed him and forgave him of his debt. Right? So he's begging, like, you know what? I'm going to forgive you for whatever you owe me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to pay me back that amount no more. I forgive you. You know what I'm saying? Because you was willing to understand, that I have the power and authority to to punish you behind this. And with that, he got the begging, asking for mercy, and the king decided to show him mercy. Forgave him of his debt. Right? Read on. Oh, Salaki, if you can read for me, Triple Canot. Verse
Come, sir. We're on verse 27,
28.
28, sir.
Mm-hmm. Come.
Come. But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence, and he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me that thou owest.
Right. Now, that same person who received mercy from the king, after he was forgiven, he went about his business and seen somebody that owed bread. Right? The cat that received the mercy seen somebody that owed him bread, and he didn't show that person mercy. He didn't show that brother or sister mercy. He wanted to make sure that he got paid what he owed. But he wasn't even able to pay what he owed unto the king. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? You're going to learn a lesson in brotherhood on what we need to do in forgiving each other. Right? The Most High done forgave us for all the things that we did. You know what I'm saying? There's many things that we all deserve death behind. Right? There's laws written in this book where certain offenses are death penalty offenses. So worshiping another God is a death penalty offense according to the Most High. Well, guess what? If you ever was a Christian, if you ever celebrated Christmas, if you ever celebrated your birthday or any holiday, you know what I'm saying? Guess what? You was worshiping another God. And the Most High forgave you for that and still gave you the truth. Still sharpened you up and took care of you. You know what I'm saying? The Most High forgave us for many things that we did on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to your brother and dealing with your brother, you should have that same amount of compassion towards another so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. You should be willing to forgive them for anything wrong that they might have done unto you, the same way the Most High forgave you for the wrong that you did unto him. Right? It goes both ways, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, the brother keep getting kicked out. Bubbity. So let me get what was that? 28, 29. All right, I'm gonna read verse 29. And it said, his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. And he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. All right. I'm gonna just finish reading it off until you can figure it out in the meantime. All right, Trooper Canuck.
Yes, Con, sir. I don't want to mess up the broadcast. So Salaki keep kicking me out, So Salaki.
Nah, no sweat. Just stay on, and I'm gonna just finish this verse, and then until then, try to get in a better spot or whatever, better connection, or whatever.
Con, sir.
All right, was a verse, and he would not, but went cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. So when his fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told unto their Lord all that was done. Then his Lord, after that he had called him, said unto him, O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt, because thou desirest me. Shouldest not thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee? And his Lord was wroth, and delivered him to the tormentors, till he should pay all that was due unto him. So likewise shall heavenly Father do also unto you, if you from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to forgive your brother. I think it's in the scripture in Ecclesiasticus where it says, you hide a multitude of iniquity uh, through alms, something like that. You know what I'm saying? When you forgive your brother, when you do right by your brother, the Lord will forgive you. He will not hold it against you as long as you're doing what's right and you're changing your behavior. You're correcting your behavior. You know what I'm saying? You're not being a hypocrite and serving the Most High. You actually willing to do what's right and becoming brand new. You know what I'm saying? Well, allow that brother and sister to be brand new as well. You know what I'm saying? The Lord can call anybody he wants to call. He can forgive whoever he wants to forgive. It's not nothing because you're special. You know what I'm saying? Or we're special. Or I'm special. Or anybody on here is special. You know what I'm saying? It's because the Lord decided to show us mercy. You know what I'm saying? By him being a real father, you know what I'm saying, and having that compassion towards us and wanting to show us mercy is the only reason why we're being forgiven. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to be merciful unto us. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be willing to be merciful unto the next brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? Unto our own nation, the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Because guess what? We can do it to our oppressors, man. Like I said before, Botham Jean is that perfect example of that. I mean, this brother got killed in his living room while eating ice cream, minding his own business, eating ice cream. A white police officer storm in his crib and shoot him dead. Like, how unexpected is that? You know what I'm saying? You watching TV, eating ice cream. The last thing you expect is some white person charging in your crib and shooting you down. You know what I'm saying? That was devastating for his family to hear about, for his brother, for his mother. Well, guess what? That same white woman that caused that devastation, when she was in that courtroom, you know what I'm saying? Our people was praying for this white woman, stroking this white woman hair, gave this white woman a Bible. You know what I'm saying? Even the brother went on the stand and said, I forgive you. I love you no matter what. Got off the stand and hugged this woman and kissed her and all that, man. Don't tell me that black people cannot be compassionate towards each other. The problem is you're brainwashed to think that you have to do it for your oppressors. You know what I'm saying? You are brainwashed to think that, man. You know what I'm saying? 1 second, y'all. All right. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if we was willing to show that same amount of compassion that they showed that damn devil in the courthouse. If we showed that towards a random brother or sister that even that might not have grew up in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That might have grew up in another side of town. That might wear opposite colors than what you like to wear. You know what I'm saying? That might speak a different language. You know what I'm saying? Or different texture of hair or light skin or dark skin. Imagine if we show that same amount of compassion, you know what I'm saying? We'll be able to build this nation up. We'll be able to stop the violence and all the crime that goes on in our neighborhood. We'll be able to heal our most of our traumas that we deal with day by day. You know what I'm saying? If we give our love exclusively and preserve it only for each other, you know what I'm saying? This devil will think twice about barging into any black person crib and shooting them down. You know what I'm saying? He'll realize and know that black people are unified. And I have to be real skeptical of what I do around them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way we're going to gain power on this earth. The only way we're going to gain power if we unify as a nation. Us being divided is pointless, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have a divided nation when Christ returns. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be divided powers when Christ returns. We all going to be one in one nation, one body, one teaching, one baptism, one Lord. You know what I'm saying? This is the only way we can gain any type of power on this earth. You know what I'm saying? We got to be willing to unify and forgive each other. You know what I'm saying? The things that your brother or sister might have done in the past, let it be just that. You became brand new. Well, give this brother or sister to make their actions brand new. You know what I'm saying? Don't, I'm not saying to be a pushover or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be willing to forgive a brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? For regardless of what they've done. In return, the Most High will forgive you. In return, we'll get rulership. All right? All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Salaki. All right. Let me go and get the next scripture. Get I'm gonna get Mark 12 and 31. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like it, sir.
Kind. You on?
Kind of, sir. I'm on. You just keep kicking me off.
There's no sweat. Just keep jumping back in until you can, get it right. I guess. I don't know. No,
Kind of white man is the devil. The Bible speaks of.
straight up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go to Mark chapter 12, 29, 12 and 29. All right. And if anybody got a question in the chat, man, feel free to ask as well. If you got a question on the topic or anything like that, go ahead and type it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We'll get through your questions. Any scripture we went over or whatever that you still might not understand, just type it in the chat.
Kind of, sir. I have it.
You go ahead.
The book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 29. And Yahushua answered him, the first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel,
Hear, oh, who?
the Lord our, O Israel,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord our God is one Lord.
All right. That's the Hebrew credo right there. You know what I'm saying? Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh Allah Hayyan Yahweh Akkad. You know what I'm saying? The Most High power is one. We have one power, and this is how we're unified as a nation. Read on.
Kind, sir. Verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment.
All right. This is the first commandment. You know what I'm saying? This is what's written also in the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? Love the Most High. What does it mean to love the Most High? How do you show that you love the Most High?
So like you, sir.
Read on.
You say read on?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
Come, no, I can read on, sir. So like it.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead. What you?
Verse 30.
Nah, I didn't mean to say read on. You can go ahead and say what you were gonna say. It just slipped
Oh
out.
no, I'm just finna say follow his laws, statutes, and commandment.
Right. God. That's exactly what it's saying. You know what I'm saying? That's how you show that you love the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the first commandment that we must follow. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Kind, sir. Verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord. Oh, so like verse 31. And the second is like, so like verse 31. And the second is like,
And the
namely
sec
this,
and the second is what?
is like,
Is what?
namely this.
You said the second is like.
Kind
Right.
of kind. It
Right.
says, verse 31.
Right. What does that mean? What does that mean when it says the second is like?
It's saying like it's similar to the last one.
Right. Meaning it's the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? Meaning you can't do one without the other. They're both the same thing. Right? When it says the second is like, meaning the second is the same. You're doing the first one, guess what? You're doing the second one. You do the second one, guess what? You're doing the first one. Because they're both one and the same. You cannot do one without the other. You know what I'm saying? This is how you show that you love the Most High. Read on.
Kind of a concept. Verse 31. And the second one is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Mm-hmm. Thou shalt love thy
There
neighbor as
is
thyself. Read on. My bad.
there is none other commandment greater than these.
All right. You know what I'm saying? There is no other commandment greater than these. You know what I'm saying? If you do this right here, Christ made it simple for us. If you just do what we just read about right here, guess what? You're keeping all the commandments. You're keeping all the laws. You know what I'm saying? Because if you love your brother, you will not do anything that's against the laws that's written in this book against your brother. You know what I'm saying? You will not do anything to harm him. You will not steal from him. You will not kill him. You know what I'm saying? Christ even increased it to say if you even call him a fool, regardless if you kill him or not. You know what I'm saying? You're just like a murderer. You know what I'm saying? If you hate your brother, or if you hate him without a cause, if you angry with them without a cause. You know what I'm saying? They both go in hand, hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? You love the Most High, and the second is like, namely this: love thy brother as thyself. They're both the same thing, right? Let's drop that. Let me get Second Ezra 6:54.
Second Ezra 6:54, sir.
God, that was a shot.
Okay, I have it. 6:54. It's the book of Ezra, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Mm-hmm.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Right. The Lord made this world for our sakes, right? And he only chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Out of all the creatures that come from Adam, that descend from Noah and his three sons, the Lord chose only one particular people. You know what I'm saying? And that is the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites, the nation of Israel. He did not choose nobody else but the Israelites. The Israelites of today, who they are today, is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Say you are the Israelites by nationality, by bloodline. You know what I'm saying? That the Lord created you to conquer and rule over this planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Kind, sir. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing,
They are what?
but they are nothing.
So when Christ said, "Love thy brother as thyself," who was he talking to? When Christ was saying, "Forgive thy brother 77 times," who was he talking to? Who was he talking about? You want to give it a
He was
shot?
slacking, sir.
Go ahead, Trooper. Not
So he was talking about the same people he chose, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the
right.
Israelites.
This is the only people Christ came and taught. These are the people that Christ came and gave the gospel, the good news to, gave salvation to, and healing to. He didn't give it to nobody else but the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And what Christ came to do is to unify these 12 tribes. Because it was prophesied in the scriptures that if we didn't keep the Lord's commandments, that he would scatter us to the four corners of the earth. You know what I'm saying? We are separated as a nation, right? And Christ came to unify us. And the way we unify is through brotherhood, through the scriptures that's written in his book, by actually exercising what our king told us to do. That is more revolutionary than picking up a gun, right? That's more revolutionary to be in a bulletproof vest, you know what I'm saying, with a AR-15 marching down Washington. You know what I'm saying? That is something more revolutionary than you can ever think of. Vote in, vote or die, whatever you can think of that our oppressor and other people try to tell you that can provoke change. The biggest revolutionary act that we can do as a nation is loving that brother as ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That is something more radical than anything you can think of. Be willing to actually forgive another Negro. That's revolutionary right there. To not resort to violence at every chance you get. That's revolutionary right there, man. And that's the only way things is gonna change for us. That's the only way we're gonna get rulership. Because guess what? The Lord said everybody is nothing and we are above them, right? Go ahead and drop that for me. Let me get cut off.
It's like you, sir.
God, I hear.
What was the last scripture you said? It had cut me out.
Nah, no. So let me get James chapter 2. Bubbly. Start me at verse 22 and 20 real quick.
The book of James, chapter 2, verse 20. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works
Mm-hmm.
when
Right
he had
there.
offered Isaac?
All right, let me just pause you right there. Faith without works is dead. Right? That's what faith is. You know what I'm saying? You show your faith and your belief in something by your actions. Right? For an example, right? We all have goals that we want to meet. We all have things that we want to accomplish in life. You know what I'm saying? Well, in order to reach that goal, what are certain things that you must do? Like, for example, let's say you want a new house or a new car. All right. For an example, let's say you have a goal of wanting to get a new house and a new car. What are certain things that you might do in order to reach that goal? All right.
It's like it, sir. You're gonna probably get a second job or something.
Second job, that's one. You know what I'm saying? That's one right there.
And save your money up, sir. So like
Save your
put a
money
little
up,
extra to the side.
budget. You know what I'm saying? Yusef said save up, repair your credit, get a realtor. You know what I'm saying? Do some research. All of y'all is correct. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all correct. You know why you're doing this? Because guess what? That's the only way you're going to be able to get a new house or a new car. Meaning you're going to have to put forth action or set up certain steps that you have to physically take in order to reach your goal. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way you're able to get anything in this world is by action. You know what I'm saying? If you're sitting back and wishfully thinking that I'm going to get this house, I'm going to get this car, would it ever happen?
A lot after.
It will never happen. You know what I'm saying? You don't get, if that was the case, how many cats you think will be doing that right now, just sitting back and just saying, I want this, and poof, it appears. None of us will work. None of us will do anything in order to get anything in life if wishful thinking was the only way of getting anything. You know what I'm saying? Your faith is determined by your actions. You know what I'm saying? Well, the same way you put steps in place in order to reaching your goal, for example, like a house or car, you know what I'm saying? There are certain steps that you have to take in serving the Most High in order to get rulership. You know what I'm saying? That's where your faith lies in, right? And those certain steps determine whether or not you will reach rulership. You know what I'm saying? What is some of the things that we have to do in order to get that goal of rulership? What did we do? What did we just
Like you
learn
say.
about in class, right? I asked the question is, what is the some of the things, right? Like a goal of rulership or having faith in one day we can rule. What are certain actions and steps that we have to take in order to achieve that?
So like you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
First, we would have to do is come into this body of the ISUPK and learn how to serve the Most High by following His laws, statutes, and commandments.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? What is one in particular that can get us there, right? That we went over in this class.
So like you said, one of them would be love thy brother as thyself.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That is something that we have to do physically, you know what I'm saying, and spiritually in order to reach that goal. Right? That's the only way we're gonna get that achieved. You know what I'm saying? The sister KJ is correct. You know what I'm saying? Loving and forgiving our brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Yusef said having brotherhood and sisterhood. Right? Jump me up to verse 14.
Count on time, sir. The book of Mark, chapter 2, verse 14.
James.
What doeth it profit? Oh, so like it, James.
Mm-hmm.
James 2 and 14. What doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him?
Mm-hmm. Read on.
If a brother or sister be naked and
Destitute.
of daily food, destitute of daily food,
Right. Meaning they lack
and
food,
one
right? You have a brother or a sister that don't have the basic necessities in life. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that they lack in order to for them to survive. Right? This is how we be able to build up this nation. Read on.
kind, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, and be ye warmed and filled. Notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful to the body. What doeth it profit?
Right. What's the point of how do you expect to build up your people, you know what I'm saying, and thinking that you're gonna get them off of drugs and get them rehabilitated and get their mind right if you don't love them enough to help them when they're in need, to help them when they need clothes and need food and all these things. This is what your faith lies in. It's by your actions. Not how many times you say you love God, not how many times you say you love Jesus, not by how many, breakdowns and scriptures and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's your actions behind it. Well, we just read in James, man, if you telling somebody, well, just let go and let God, or God will handle it, you know what I'm saying, and not help that brother or sister when they really need your help and they're in need and need food and need clothes, well, guess what? You're somebody that has no faith in blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Because that brother and sister, by you helping them, you're building that brother or sister up in order to be in the position that the Lord promised us to be in. You're given an opportunity for them to change their life so they can return to the Most High. And that way we can build this nation up. You know what I'm saying? But it starts with the least of us. It starts with the ones that's in the bottom. You got to be willing to show forth action and feeding our brothers and sisters, taking care of each other, forgiving each other, you know what I'm saying, loving each other in order to build that nation up. You know what I'm saying? Drop that. Let me get another verse. Let me get Hebrews 11:1.
Kind of, sir. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Right. Like we just gave the example of you wanting to achieve a certain goal, probably getting a new house or a new car. You don't see that house in front of you. You don't see that car in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But you have faith enough to take certain steps in order to reach that goal. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? You might not see black people as a prince of power or a daughter of Zion. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in hell, in poverty right now. You know what I'm saying? But if you put forth action and apply yourself and help each other, you will start to see a change in our people. You will see what the glory of the Most High called us to be, man. You'll see a prince of the power and the daughter of Zion, man, and righteousness if you're willing to take the necessary steps, man. But it's about your actions. Everything we read about is all about brotherhood. And you got to have faith in your people and knowing that one day that they're going to be rulers on this earth. Look at us as a people. Look how great we are, even in our captivity. Even in our captivity, we have invented everything. Half of the appliances you have in your crib was invented by a black man or a black woman. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you use, from the stoplight, everything that we, invented, all of these things was created by a so-called black man or black woman. You know what I'm saying? The music that we create. You know what I'm saying? The entertainment in the sports field, everything that we do, everything that we touch turns into gold, even in our hellhole. So what makes you think the same people that doing, certain great things, even in the bottom, will not one day rise up and rule this planet Earth? You know what I'm saying? You got to see the greatness even when you don't see it, and when brothers don't see it in themselves. You got to be willing to forgive that brother or sister, or love that brother or sister, knowing that that's going to go a long way. That's what I need to do in order to build this nation up. You got to be willing to feed that brother or sister, and knowing that one day this brother or sister is going to be the future rulers of this planet Earth. And it takes your faith and your action and believing what the Most High told us to do. Right? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the class. The water, everybody, for joining in. Biblical Law is tomorrow with Captain Shawar. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tune in. Hit the subscribe button. Like, share, all that. Baba Kashah. Show your brother some love. You know what I'm saying? Do all that. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go ahead and end the class, y'all. All right, so shalom.